you want to lead your team to success? Do you want a promotion? Are you tired of people ignoring you? Or perhaps you just want more trust and respect? Hey brainwash friends, I'm Aaron Tupaz of Positively Brainwashed, and today I'm excited to teach you the 5 Steps of Leadership by John Maxwell. First, what does it mean to be a leader? Well, in a nutshell, leadership simply means influence. So if you want to increase your leadership ability, then you need to increase your influence ability. Now, according to John Maxwell, there are 5 levels of leadership, and the level you'll be in will be different with everyone. So let's get started. The first level is position. In this stage, people follow you only because of your title. You are given a position, usually by the company, and you're a leader only because you're the boss, a manager, or an experienced colleague. Everyone has had a boss or perhaps a leader in some sports team or activity who you had to follow but wasn't a good leader. You hate it because you see farther than what they see or know more than what they know. It's really not any fun. Now, it's not bad to be in the first level. It's the foundation, and everybody starts here. You just probably don't want to stay here, and you want to build on top of this. Now, the second level is permission. This level can be summarized by the word relationship. People follow you not because they have to, but because they want to. If people like you, they will go the second mile with you. They may come in early for a project or stay later because they have a relationship with you. So you need to work hard to improve your people skill. You need to touch a heart before you touch a hand. Remember, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Now, this is a nice stage to be in, but we can do better. For the third level is the production level. Do you walk the walk, or do you just talk the talk? Because in this stage, people follow you because you produce results for your organization or team. Think of Steve Jobs returning to Apple and increasing profits in their bottom line. Now, it's important to remember that while you're in level 3, you are still in levels 1 and 2. You can't just neglect those because you started producing results. Otherwise, you'll fall down in leadership level. Now, a lot of companies stop at level 3. They think increasing profits and morale is all they need. But there's an even higher level. And that is level 4, which is the people development level. In this level, you are creating other leaders. Here, you are now reproducing yourself again and again. You all know the saying, if you give people fish, you feed them for just a day. Teach people how to fish, and you feed them for life. In this level, people follow you because of what you've done for them. You've helped them improve their influence abilities and helped them reach their goals. And because of that, they'll credit all their accomplishments and success to you. And as a result, you will exponentially increase your influence. Now remember, in level 2, you should like each other. In level 4, you're having success and experience together. Have stories to tell. Have victories in battles that you've won together. You should really try to aim and reach this level. And it's a fantastic level. But it's not actually the top. See, level 1 is given to you by the company. But levels 2, 3, and 4, you must earn. And if you do the 3 correctly, that is relate with people, produce results, and if you develop others, level 5 will be given to you by the people. And level 5 is called personhood, which can be summarized by the word respect. People follow you because of who you are and what you represent. You have done it with so many people for so long that you find people are lifting you on their shoulders, almost like what a team does for a winning coach after they win a championship. So do the first 4 levels well, and level 5 is automatic. Now here are 7 points to note about these 5 steps. The higher you go, the longer it takes to get to the next step. So if it takes you 2 months to get to level 2, it might take you 6 months to get to level 3. Maybe 2 years to get to level 4, and level 5 might take you 5 years. Number 2, the higher you go, the higher the level of commitment. And this goes both ways, your commitment to the people and theirs to you. Number 3, the higher you go, the easier it is to lead. Number 4, the higher you go, the greater your success. You exponentially become more profitable. Number 5 is to remember you never leave a level below. You build on it. If you ignore a level you produced, it will pull you down. Number 6, as a leader, you won't be on the same level with all your people. If you have 100 people in your company, they all start at level 1. When you go to level 2, there will be some who stay at level 1. So maybe 80 of them will go with you to level 2. Level 3, 60 people will come with you. The higher you go, the less people you'll usually have with you. So number 7, you must work to carry other leaders with you up the steps. You have to take your key leaders, your inner circle, up with you. So to summarize, remember, relate to people, produce, and develop. These are your 3 goals. It's the blueprint. And before you know it, you'll have reached the pinnacle of leadership. And even better, you'll have helped others reach it too. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then you can either A, subscribe and hit the bell button, B, listen to the share bear over there and show that you care, C, watch this video that YouTube is recommending for you, or D, let the zombie have some fun.
The one thing that is incredibly important is the power of human connection. leadership right now is particularly important. You know, people are working from home, people are feeling insecure. Many of us have become caretakers. And so there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of pressure, which is why communication is so critical right now. One of the things that I've discovered is not communicating is definitely not an option. In the absence of communication, people allow their own stories to form, or they start to form their own version of reality. It's important to be transparent. It's important to be open. It's also important to share what you know now, knowing that it may change. Part of communication is also listening. What I love is seeing how a lot of small businesses still preserve that Friday afternoon kind of show and tell session, making sure that we continue to have this human connection, one-to-one, one to small groups, one to many, is really, really critical. I never thought that in my lifetime I would ever be experiencing what we're experiencing today. But I will say this has been one of the greatest leadership challenges for me, but also one of the best, because I think what I've discovered is that employees, customers, partners gravitate towards people who show up authentically, are true to themselves through all of this.
I think one of the things that really has happened is that productivity has actually gone up, not down. People's commute times obviously are almost non-existent.
So our senior leaders really have spent more time during the crisis because they couldn't travel. They spent more time during the crisis on virtual calls with teams, less time in security lines, and therefore felt both more productive and also more connected with the organization.
Everybody fits in the Zoom room. They can all ask questions. It feels much more intimate, and the whole leadership team can be there.
We are having much more efficient discussions, and we're doing a better job of making sure everybody gets heard, because we're all forced to live in the same frame.
Only to see now that we can actually bring down the number of layers in an organization. And it's coming from a more project-based way of work. So you take away some of the kind of traditional silos and hierarchical ways of work into much more cross-functional project way of working. So this changes basically the way you operate, and that's the main benefit out of the whole work from home concept.
Over time you realize that there's something missing for the way of collaboration, to see each other, to sit together in a room, to see mimic, to see how people react to whatever you say, how you propose it. And that's something where we want to get back to.
The world could go remote. But as things stand, with the current constraints in terms of technology, we believe Office will still be helpful for people to learn and collaborate, particularly when it comes to strategic topics or innovation. It's still easier, particularly in a brains business where a lot of new ideas and innovation happens when you bash great brains together, and that brainstorming creates those new ideas. It's still difficult, right? It's still difficult to do that in front of just a camera.
When we onboard new employees now, we're really thinking there we want to be very planful about bringing people onto sites, even if they start from somewhere else, and really make sure that they have a good onboarding, that they meet with lots of people.
Maybe it's all the HR people come in on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then you collaborate that way, or finance or whatever. And then you're going to have a core of people who we kind of call the anchor people that will be in the office most days because they need to be. And then you'll have some people that may never come in the office. So we have a lot of, different personas, as we call them, depending on the work that you do and where you're located.
The old way is where you come in, you clock your time, you work your time, and you leave again. Of course, we have ways to give people tasks to fulfill the task within that time. But if you hand over the responsibility to people to say, by tomorrow we want to have that strategy done, or by next week, and then you leave it up to them how they most effectively use their time, how much they concentrate, how much they chat with colleagues, how much they work on their own, how much collaboration they need.
So, for example, if you are a first-line manager, how do you manage an underperformer who may be sitting at home, right? How do you induct a new joiner? How do you ensure that they're provided with the right kind of opportunities, mentored so that they can grow? How do you manage them through that process?
We even more actively need to communicate, but more intentionally need to communicate and need to tell people, this is our common strategy, this is what I expect from you and your team. By that time, do you understand what I'm expecting? And what we clearly see, the biggest change is that a majority of people, over 70% now, would prefer a more flexible work model with 1 or 2 days per week, at least at home, as opposed to pre-COVID, it was exactly the other way around. So that really changed dramatically. If at all, one could say this pandemic has had also some lessons learned, then of course it speeded up a lot of ways of thinking about how to work with each other and how flexible work models can look like. And to preserve that and develop that in the future is our main task.